Welcome to my New Zealand Rugby channel, where the Kiwi spirit and rugby passion come together as one. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my mates. England's 33-19 win over the All Blacks at Allianz Stadium wasn't just an exciting result for their supporters. It also opened up plenty of reflection about the team's ongoing journey to reshape themselves under growing expectations. This wasn't merely a warm-up match, it felt like a statement of intent. England are rediscovering the identity that once made the rugby world take notice. What lingered most after 80 minutes at Twickenham was the stark contrast between the two sides. An England team that was resilient, sharp, and increasingly mature with every tiny mistake they corrected, and an All Blacks outfit showing cracks, inconsistency, and what looks like uncertainty as they search for a new direction under Robertson. This victory wasn't just about the scoreboard, it carried the sense that England are slowly rebuilding the confidence they lost after years of struggle, tough defeats, and internal doubt. George Ford, the embodiment of a revival. The standout of the match was George Ford. Few would have expected the player once seen as at risk of being overshadowed by young Finn Smith to now look like England's ideal playmaker. Ford carries the aura of a quiet leader, not flashy, not loud, but every decision delivered with icy precision. After an early, sloppy missed kick, Ford didn't flinch. He came back with razor-sharp attacking touches, bold long kicks, and the kind of tactical vision that brought back memories of his 2023 World Cup form. Even when his try was disallowed in the 50th minute, he didn't lose composure. Instead he answered with a textbook 50-22, calm and decisive. At the moment the match felt most fragile, Ford anchored England's entire mentality. Here's something not everyone is ready to admit. Ford isn't just playing well, he's becoming the compass for Borthwick's entire tactical structure. Watching him manage the game, you no longer see the hot today, cold tomorrow version of Ford, but a genuine leader who silences criticism simply by doing his job better than anyone else. A midfield reborn. If Ford is the brain, then Lawrence and Dingwall are England's heartbeat. The biggest turning point came from Lawrence's power running and Dingwall's almost complete reliability. Their relentless pressure through the middle of the field lit the spark for England's overall surge. Their combination was not only tidy, it was effective. Lawrence's 25th minute try summed it up: speed, power, and conviction, something England's midfield had lacked for far too long. When Dingwall charged through to score in the second half, Twickenham erupted. It wasn't just a good moment, it was confirmation that England have finally found a central structure that works. And it wasn't just attack. Dingwall's tackle in the 69th minute, which allowed Pollock to steal the ball, was a real English rugby moment, disciplined, bold, and self-sacrificing. Lakai, a rare bright spark for the All Blacks. Looking at New Zealand, it's hard to say they were terrible across the board. There were positives, and the brightest was Peter Lakai. He's a young player who, with the right guidance, could easily become a signature figure for the future All Blacks. Lakai worked tirelessly, constantly popping up in tough areas and showing a never-ending competitive edge. His 59th minute cover play to prevent a try seemed minor on paper, but it symbolized the All Blacks' once renowned spirit. Sadly, one Lakai wasn't enough to rescue a team struggling on multiple levels. England's impact crew, power from the bench. One of England's most significant improvements was the ability to change the game from the bench. Pollock, filled with energy like a whirlwind, caused headaches for the All Blacks throughout. His style, scrappy, relentless, disruptive, isn't everyone's favorite, but at elite-level sport, chaos can be a weapon. And Pollock delivered exactly that. While England's bench lifted them, New Zealand's had the opposite effect. A worrying sign for Robertson, discipline, the Achilles heel of New Zealand. Many of the All Blacks' recent losses can be traced back to discipline. Cody Taylor's red card remains debatable, but the bigger issue is that the All Blacks once again handed the momentum to their opponents right after half-time. And when facing an England side buzzing with confidence, one slip is enough to trigger a collapse. Even when the penalty count wasn't dramatically one-sided, their fragility under pressure was obvious. This wasn't the cold, composed, ruthless All Blacks the world used to fear. Stewart, a day to forget. Freddy Stewart endured another difficult outing in England colours. Errors and a clear lack of confidence turned him into a target for New Zealand. His HIA-related exit only deepened the gloom of his performance. It's a disappointing stall in what once looked like a skyrocketing career. Conclusion: are England truly back? this victory alone isn't enough to declare that England have returned to their traditional status. But it is a loud, weighty statement that they are firmly on the right track. Ford is in resurgent form. Lawrence and Dingwall have delivered new belief. Borthwick is slowly untangling the knots in their game plan. And most importantly, the team's spirit is different. As for the All Blacks, instability remains their biggest question mark. Their trademark discipline, grit, and psychological strength still exist somewhere within the team, but they are being eroded by repeated mistakes. If this is the opening picture of the Autumn Nations series, the clearest feeling is this: England are rewriting their own story. With sweat, belief, and flashes of brilliance at Twickenham. And for their supporters, that is the spark of hope that matters most. Personal reflection: England's 33-19 win over the All Blacks genuinely thrilled me, not just because of the scoreline, but because it felt like the team is finally coming back to life in a convincing way. What impressed me most was England's maturity, more composed, more decisive, and seemingly rediscovering the confidence they've lacked for years. George Ford was the standout in my eyes, calm, accurate, and carrying himself like a true leader. Alongside him, Lawrence and Dingwall brought power and energy England have rarely had in recent seasons. Even the bench made a meaningful impact, showing that England now have depth they haven't enjoyed in a long time. The All Blacks, meanwhile, left a sense of uncertainty. They still have bright spots like Lakai, but not enough to hide the cracks in discipline and mentality, qualities that once defined them. For me, it's still too early to say England are back at their peak, but they are certainly heading the right way. More importantly, they are giving fans something new to believe in, a journey that feels steadier, fiercer, and full of hope. Thanks for being part of my New Zealand rugby journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss any epic